Welcome to part 3 of this incredibly chaotic situation that's happened over the course of the last 5 to 6 months, all regarding my house. In the previous video, I discussed how a lawyer has now gotten involved because of a whole myriad of things, including undisclosed, unpulled permits for a remodel that happened in the house over the course of the last few months. The fact that the house suffered damage, including having improperly placed or improperly sized breakers inside of our old breaker box panel that melted inside the panel because the water heater, the washer, and the dryer were hooked up to them and they were not rated for that level of power. And scummy practices regarding trying to spray paint rusted pipes in order to hide corrosion, alongside fixtures not being installed properly, and a whole bunch of other things. Around this time, we discover a new problem. Now, we had originally been told that when we had Three Mountains, which is the company that redid all the plumbing and the electrical box, they also do furnaces. And so they did a scope on the furnace, and they discovered that there is a part inside the furnace that is starting to erode. The problem is that this furnace is only 2 years old, and the part should last for at least 10. So that means that this part was installed incorrectly. In addition to that, its model number is also on a recall list. So we contact the manufacturer, and the manufacturer basically says, yeah, it's not under warranty until it cracks, which I'm like, so we're supposed to have carbon monoxide leak into the house before you're actually willing to cover it under warranty? Three Mountains does some investigation, and they give us some bad news. They're basically like, so the part was installed incorrectly, and we can fix it. However, all we're doing is replacing the part. And the part is not under warranty with you guys. It is under warranty with the people who installed it, which was the people that our seller bought the house from. It is under their name. It did not transfer over to us, which means we have to pay the full price for the part. If you remember, we already have close to $40,000 in financing with Three Mountains. I'm not giving the exact number. I'm just going to give you the rough, an approximate number. We've already had approximately close to, not quite, but around the ballpark of $40,000 in repairs that Three Mountains has done for us. So they tell us that the part is several $1,000s. The issue is replacing the part does not fix the problem. The new part will start to degrade just like the current part is, because of the fact that it was installed incorrectly. Basically, I think the long story of it was that the part's supposed to be installed at an angle so that as the gas furnace is used, precipitation that is built up from it doesn't land on the part and just slowly erode it. That happens naturally over time, but it's not supposed to happen this quickly. The part is not slanted, so therefore the precipitation is just landing there and eating away at the part. So we could replace the part, but we'd have the same problem in 2 years. Or we can pay several $1,000s more and just get the 2-year-old furnace completely replaced. Obviously, since this is the heating system for the entire house, it kind of needs to be done. So it's really good that it happened, because of the fact that it is currently with wind chill 15 degrees outside as I'm recording this video. So it was kind of important, and it was done in the nick of time. This was not something that we could pin on the seller. I'm just pointing this out that it was just another piece of drama that popped up while everything that happened with the seller happened. So yeah, furnace gets replaced. Moving back to the seller and his thing. Now we're in February. This is actually speeding up straight to just a couple days ago. As of this recording, it might be over a week by the time this video pops out. I'm not sure. But yeah, so the mediation happens, and the seller for the most part, is trying to explain one specific part, the sewer, which, if you remember, I did say that the house is on a party line, and he's trying to explain, oh, I knew it was on the party line, I should have disclosed it, it was out of sight, out of mind. The house was purchased in 2023, we were doing the remodel in 2023. Once I pulled the permits for the ADUs in your backyard, I didn't even think about the fact that the sewer was on a party line, because it should work functionally exactly the same. And I knew about the fact that it was supposed to be remodeled or redone by the city, but I didn't know exactly what time frame. Since it was out of sight, out of mind, I didn't disclose it. Reasonable explanation, though he did drone on for approximately like 15 minutes about that. That was like the simplified version, but he repeated himself multiple times. It kind of reminded me of like the Frost and Nixon movie, where like Nixon was just droning on and on and on in order to waste time. The CCB mediator got us back on track and basically broke it down to this. How much would it cost to stay out of court? That's the question that he posed. And it's a question that, like, anybody who's considering going and suing someone, if they can do a settlement, this is a question that is very important, because obviously if you go to court, it's going to be expensive. You've got attorney fees, you've got legal fees, whether or not the loser has to pay everything, all that stuff. And ultimately it also comes down to a judge, and if the judge rules against you, you get nothing and you wasted time and money. So we're really glad that the moderator framed it like that. I think everybody involved was happy that the moderator was really, really good at what he was doing. The thing that like caused a hiccup, however, in this was that the seller specifically said that he did not agree that he owed any money to basically cover the upgrades. His idea of upgrades were all of the plumbing stuff that was done and the water heater. I can totally understand where that would be considered an upgrade, both by him and in a court. In court, like if we did go to court, I can understand where that could be considered an upgrade, even though those pipes needed to be changed out. Like, I can understand how someone might view that as an upgrade, you know? The thing, however, that he tried to pull that actually caused an audible grunt of disbelief was that he said that the electrical panel was an upgrade. Now, it's important to note that, because if you remember in my first and second video on this, I did say that the electrical panel had melted breakers in it that his people installed. He initially said earlier through text messages and emails that his people never touched the electrical panel, but then recanted that statement and basically said, no, actually, we did have to mess with a little bit of the electrical, because there was a pool in our backyard, and when they paved over the pool, they had to take out the lights and stuff like that, and they rerouted power from the electrical panel because those lights were no longer there. He didn't update that panel, however, when it came to noting what went where. And he didn't have any of that signed off. More permits that needed to be done, by the way. Him saying that the electrical panel damage was an upgrade, that actually caused an audible grunt to escape, and that forced the moderator to be like, hold on, you hear that right there? That is what you don't want to hear, because that means that they fundamentally disagree with what you're talking about. And he again posed the question, how much would it cost? At the end of the day, I'm not going to say how much we won, but we did agree to a settlement, which covers not everything that we were hoping for, but most of what happened. Which is thankful, because I have been stressed for money. I've been trying my best to work on projects, this, that, and the other way, between the Red app and personal projects and just to try and earn some extra money. It's been one reason why I've been absent from this app for so long. If you're ever looking to buy a house, just understand there's a lot of shady people out there. I have another story about another house that was almost ours, but would have been catastrophic if we actually gone through with it. But as far as this one is concerned, for now, that's the end of it. Thanks for letting me take up a half hour of your time.